Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, recent reports say that Americans will pay as much as 54% more. Well, I'm not going to say as much as. We'll get to that. Yeah, but the experts are saying that Americans will pay 54% more this winter over last winter. Now, this comes with all kinds of different caveats, according to how you heat your home, where you live, if winter is colder, if winter is warmer, if you heat your home with propane, which is in shortage also, not just natural gas, then you may pay 100% more than you did last winter. And even if this winter is warmer than last winter, you are still going to pay more on your utility bills than last year. There is no if, and, or but about this. You are going to pay more for your utility bill than you did last year if you're on the grid. Now, do you remember last winter? I do. Last winter, we had a massive failure of the electrical grid in Texas, leading to natural gas prices increasing over 1,000%. Yet the price hikes were not only in Texas. My own electrical and natural gas bill in Alabama rose considerably. In the Northeast states, prices spiked higher than they had been in many years. In recent years, there have been several winters in which the Northeast states were saved by an outside source, which most Americans, even in Northeast states, had no idea of. The source was Russia, who sent tankers of LNG, liquefied natural gas, to the Northeast states at lower cost than domestic producers were charging. However, that won't be happening again. Between the international tensions caused by the U.S. government and Russian gas capacity now reaching the limit from their own domestic needs and providing natural gas to Europe, who is asking for more supplies, although they haven't placed any orders. That's something for another video. But providing natural gas to Europe via 2 pipelines instead of 1, there won't be any excess production available coming from Russia to reach the Northeast states. So give that idea up. You won't be saved again. The Texas incident brings to mind the question of whether such an event can happen again this winter. Weather forecasters are expecting a harsh winter, which could be colder than last winter. If another infrastructure failure occurs, which limits gas delivery and hence electrical generation in any state, then conditions will be far worse than they were last winter. It is unquestionable that some Americans will die, and others will again be declaring bankruptcy due to their utility bills. Because there were people in Texas that had $5,000 and $7,000 utility bills last winter. I heard recent reports that said as few as 1/3 to 1/2 of U.S. oil field workers that were laid off in 2020 have been called back to their jobs. Natural gas producers did not restock reserves in 2020 when demand was low. Of course, if they had done so, they would have signaled an oversupply, which would have driven prices downward, affecting their profit margin. Just as investing in infrastructure in Texas, which would have withstood the harsh conditions last winter would have cost them money and affected their profit margin. China is increasing their demand for coal. However, they're apparently not going to buy coal from Australia due to military and political posturing by Australia. Australia is the largest coal exporter globally. What this should mean is that the price of coal from Australia should be coming down for other countries, but it's not. If anything, it's going up. While the price of oil and gasoline keeps increasing, have you noticed anything? Like the fact that no stations are out of gas? They're also not placing limits on how much fuel you can purchase at one time. Not in the US, anyway. In the UK, some stations have been out of fuel or limiting fuel, not because of a lack of fuel in the system, but due to a lack of fuel delivery drivers. The fuel is there, there's nobody to deliver it to the stations. Across Europe, fuel and energy prices keep rising, even though they have basically always paid higher prices than we in the US have paid. That indicates, all of this indicates there is no actual shortage in itself. In addition to the above, we are not experiencing power disruptions in the US or Europe. India is experiencing a shortage of coal for power plants. One has to question why. With their own proximity to Australia, who obviously has coal they can sell, since it's not being sold to China. No matter the case, in the U.S., there is no actual shortage of any form of fuel for energy significant enough to cause power disruptions. There is reason to question the information regarding the power disruptions in China, seeing that the initial power disruptions were ordered by the government as a means of meeting environmental goals. And they are still placing limits on the pollution that is being produced by power generation. All right. This has resulted in China or the government ordering reduced power distribution and the reduction to complete suspension of some industrial production. If they are experiencing any actual shortage of fuel for energy generation, it is the result of political tensions, as already mentioned. No matter what, this indicates that China is currently consuming less fossil fuel by volume than they did even in 2020. So if they're using less fuel, that means there's more fuel available for the rest of the planet. So the prices should be coming down. We have not yet entered the winter months. So increased heating demand is not an issue as yet. So why are prices going up? Yet reports from corporate media and the fossil fuel industry claim increased demand. Where is this increased demand coming from? Considering the evidence presented, it is not coming from manufacturing, it's not coming from transportation, it's not coming from heating, and it's not coming from retail. Of course, no answers are going to be provided as to where this alleged demand is coming from. Biden is trying to swing a deal with Saudi Arabia for them to increase production to import to the United States. Anyone remember Biden calling Saudi Arabia a pariah? Do you remember that? I do. Anyway, so the rhetoric we've been fed is that the U.S. is a net exporter of oil and oil products. Now are we increasing our imports? Yes, we're increasing our imports. Even while Biden has been approving more drilling and fracking permits. Why are new drilling and fracking permits being issued while we have wells that are still shut in since last year? When we consider the facts which are right in front of us, we have to truly question the narrative that is being presented because nothing here fits. We are being charged higher prices for all our fossil fuels at a time when there is no evidence at all to support the claims of higher demand. Meanwhile, the fossil fuel industry is limiting extraction and production, intentionally driving prices ever higher. Some are predicting oil at $100 a barrel and higher. This is not a naturally occurring market phenomenon. This is not being driven by the government. This is a capitalist failure. Actually, it's not a failure. This is how capitalism works. This is on purpose. This is being forced on the global population for the benefit of a privileged few. Undoubtedly, the goal is to oppress workers, consumers, even more than we have been. However, this may well be the final straw which leads to a long overdue revolution, an uprising which will not be put down. This time, it's going too far. Share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.